Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're live and you're here with Kuma. We are going to do the Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward Gold Files, as we always do. And I am going to try to fix up the chat on the screen so all the people on Twitch, all the people on YouTube can see each other's chat. And then that way it's all on the screen in case we get a copyright strike and it gets taken away. We finished the game. We've done all the endings, and now it's time to read the files that will hopefully explain what the heck is going on. And don't worry, I've got the whiteboard of wisdom over there, ready to go in case we need it. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully they explain everything without me having to do anything, because that would be really nice, because I just kept getting confused this entire game. Good fun. Good fun. All right, let's get started. Let's get started, and let's watch that opening sequence for the very last time. That's Clover logic right there. That's Clover logic right there. This game is so deceptive. Like, you're like, there's our protagonist, right? This game. And he's not even in the 8. You never see his face. Yo, just... This game plays you the entire time. It's just like... It just... it just plays you. That's how you know you've been played the entire time. It's just... Like... That is so deceptive! Oh, it was an enjoyable ride, though. It was an enjoyable ride. Even now, I get little, tingles down my spine. But, like, it was an enjoyable ride. Probably the reason they only showed his face in the first thing, in the flashback. And you were like, so, I'm a young student. Yeah. Like, you don't even question it. You're just like... Okay, accept it. Plays your mind and emotions? Yes, played like a fiddle. Like a fiddle. And, chat's on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, play. We could skip this, it's not really important. Okay, here we are. We've got this music we've grown so accustomed to. Is there any particular section of the game where we prefer the music? Because we are about to look at the files. If something is too loud or not loud enough, feel free to let me know. I am more than happy to modify the sound for you guys. Here we go. The secrets. Are we ready for the secrets? I hope we're ready for the secrets. Are you guys ready for the secrets? I'm ready for the secrets. Are you guys... It's like one of those TV shows where they reveal all the secrets at the end. I'm just looking at this AB room, AB gate, bracelets, AI, have a nice something, quantum computer. As soon as you start going into that. Congrats on calling the twist in this game during the last game. You were Zero this time, lol. It's... That's so... I know, right? So which cast did I like the most? 999 on VLR? I have to say... I like Fi a lot more than I liked June. Because Fi got shit done. You know, she didn't sit at the back. She just sort of got shit done. But then again, June was a figment of our collective imagination when we're all having an acid trip. These games. Alright, AB room. This is where you play the AB game. It appears to be in an elevator car. There are 6 AB rooms in the warehouse on floor A. On the left, they're referred to as the first, second, third. The interior of each room is identical to the others with a voting device on the wall and a hatch in the ceiling. AB gate. This refers to the door of the AB room. Most elevator doors open horizontally, but this one opens and closes vertically. Most elevators also include a safety feature that prevents the door from closing if anything obstructed. These doors have no such feature. Enough. Bracelet. Number 1. Each participant has a bracelet attached to their left wrist. If a participant breaks the rules or fails to fulfill certain conditions, then a set of 4 needles in the bracelet will inject them with 2 chemicals in succession. There are only 2 situations which will cause the bracelet to come off. 1. The person wearing it completes the game and escapes. 2. The heart of the person wearing it stops beating. Attempting to break the bracelet or attempting to force it off will be considered a violation of the rules. But 999 had fan service characters. We were looking at you, Lotus. Yeah, Lotus was fan servicey in a way. I think Clover was also a bit fan servicey, but you know. The characters in this game didn't piss me off nearly as much. I agree. So far in Zero Escape, you were always Zero. In 99, you were Akane, seeing and controlling Junpei's decisions. Kuma, if you enjoy the music, why not react to the game's OST? There are 33 tracks. I would happily react to it, but the issue is as soon as you're reacting to just music, you've got copyright hell coming at you. So while we're in the game, we're cool. If we start reacting to the OST, which by the way, I've already started listening to on my Spotify, you get fucked for it. Oh, sorry for swearing, shouldn't swear. Nani, another stream? Yeah, Gold Files. I hope you also have this excitement when you play Zero Time Dilemma. By the way, is there a date for that? We are subbing in another game in the meantime just to give other games a chance and give everyone a chance to catch up, and then we'll continue. Have a nice 001. Word 03 says before he leaves. There are a few variations. Have a nice trick. Have a nice trap. Have a nice trader. Scared about this one. For example, bracelet file. You could read that before you even heard the rules of the game. Ooh. Clover was asking too many questions. That she was. Quantum computer. Oh my god. Quantum computer. Device built by Tom Kwan. A voice Idaho computer. There's actually a lie. A quantum computer is a highly advanced machine that uses quantum phenomena such as superposition and entanglement to perform calculations. Let's say, for example, that you want to determine the prime factor of the number 5183. A Van Neumann-style computer, let's call him Paul, would say, can I divide it by 2, 3, 5, and then just run through the numbers like that until he got the answer. Mr. Kwan, on the other hand, the computer, not the imaginary commuter, would just look at 5183 and say, obviously, it's 71 times 73. A traditional computer with n bits can only be in one of 2 states at once, but a quantum computer with n qubits can be in up to 2 to the power of n states simultaneously. This means a quantum computer can complete calculations that are currently impossible. That's amazing, Mr. Kwan. Are you seeing anybody? Basically, that's quantum mechanics in a nutshell. Computers work on binary, which is zeros and ones, which pretty much mean on and off, whereas a quantum computer can be both on and off at the same time. Why does this sound weird? Because it's bloody weird. It's a little bit like that Schrodinger's cat thing, where is the cat alive or dead? In the case of the quantum computer, it's both alive and dead, to make it simple. We've got so many games people are, asking us to play. We've got Bioshock, which we've got to return back to. We've got Walking Dead, which people really want to see. We've got Devil May Cry, which is coming out in 20 days, which is driving me nuts. We've got Resident Evil 2, which I haven't even touched and never played before in my life. I'm dying here. So many games I want to play. But don't forget, next month, in a month, I'll be in Japan. And then after that, I start working full-time, so I'm doing my best here. Floor A graffiti. Someone has written 2 Milkmen Go comedy on the wall in the warehouse floor A. Presumably, it refers to a pair of milkmen visiting a comedy club. The sentence construction, however, is obviously wrong. Can someone timestamp real quick 7 minutes for us? That's the quantum computer one, 7 minutes. And I think this is a 2-bear comedy, like Danganronpa 2 reference. What is the Nonary game? It's a deadly game where 9 people have been forced to play. The official name is Nonary Game Ambidex Edition. As part of the Nonary game, the participants must also play the Ambidex game, or the AB game. Nonary game rules. What is the purpose of the Nonary game? To escape by walking through the door marked with a number 9. How do you open the number 9 door? You have to earn it, at least 9 BP. How do you earn BP? Go to the AB room and play the AB game. How do you enter the AB room? Go to the AB gate. Next to the AB gate is a card reader. Just slide the designated card into it and the door will open. Where are these cards? Behind the CDs. Okay. Supplementary rules. There are a few more rules for you. We've done this a million times. Once you've completed a door, you can hop through it as much as you like. The chromatic doors are like that too. Once you open them, even I cannot keep you from going in and out of them. Any bracelet, any color of bracelet can go through them, as many people as you like. But you have to escape before you take advantage of this free reign rule. Once you've activated a chromatic door and gone through it, the puzzle beyond, it won't let you go back until you've solved the puzzle. Resident Evil. MapHat made a video on how the monsters are actually possible. Makes you think how much we don't know yet. A lot of scary things are possible. Who's the biggest thought of the series? I was gonna go say Alice, but Clover basically tried to seduce an old man to get him to do what she wanted. So I think Clover takes the cake. In addition to a number, each bracelet will say either solo or pair. Each color will have 3 bracelets, 1 solo and 2 pairs. The 2 people who have the same color pair bracelets will share the same fate and must vote together as one. That sounds like a really dodgy way to try to hook yourself up with somebody. BP. This refers to bracelet points. The number of BP you have will be displayed on your bracelet. If your BP is greater than 9, then you can open the number 9 door and escape. However, if your BP drops below 0, then the needles built into the bracelet will activate. Drops below 0, so if you get 0, you're still okay. Right? So you start with 3. If you lose in round 1, you're on 0, you're not below 0. Number 9 door. This door is found in the warehouse floor A. Anyone with 9 or more BP can open the door and escape the Nonary game. So in a sense, this door can be considered the ultimate goal of the participants. Once the number 9 door closes after someone with 9 BP has opened it, there's no way to open it again. During this explanation, 03 said the number 9 door cannot stay open for more than 9 seconds. This is not strictly correct, however. The time period 03 is referring to is then when the door is fully open. That means that if one takes into account the time when the door is opening and closing, it is open for somewhat more than 9 seconds. And then Clover got counter-seduced by Temiyuji saying he's Junpei. Clover. What do you think of Silent Hill? Haven't played Silent Hill, played a little bit of Silent Hill 2, shit my pants in the first 20 minutes, and there were no enemies in that first 20 minutes. So yes, Silent Hill is scary as fuck. If you lose in round, it's not -2, not -3. I don't think anyone ever got 0. It's probably right. Well, it says below 0. 0 is not below 0. 0 is 0. If we're really big nitpicky here. So even if you technically lost round 1, you wouldn't die. You would just be on 0 and never vote, like, work together ever again. Oh, if you lose in a round, it's -2. Okay. Ah, that's why. Because if you lost in the first round and you're 0, you'll never, like, vote with people. But if you're, like, on 1, you're like, yeah, I get it. Total lunar eclipse. At certain times, the sun, earth, and moon align in such a way that the moon is completely within the earth's shadow. This causes the moon to reappear reddish-brown in color as light from the sun passes through the earth's atmosphere and reflects off the moon's surface. Evidently, the game refers to a lunar eclipse on New Year's Eve in 2028, which is, or rather, will be, an actual event. It will be visible only in the Eastern Hemisphere at 1652. I know, there's so many good games for us to play, but you gotta realize at the same time that I work, and then every day I don't work, I stream either once or twice. I am trying to the best of my human ability as a mere mortal that needs at least 4 hours of sleep a night to play as many games as possible. Doing my best. But unfortunately, I'm not a full-time YouTuber that doesn't have to worry about legitimate gainful employment to pay for food and stuff. So, doing my best. Where are we on? Soparil B. Well, Soparil Beta. One of the drugs used by Nonary bracelets and an extremely powerful anesthetic is the first drug injected when a participant breaks one of the rules. This drug also appeared in Virtue's Last Reward sister's title, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, or we like to refer it to as 999, or as the devil likes to refer to it as 666, or as Kuma likes to refer to it as 6969 giggity 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 goo. It was created by Mr. H, who was the president of Cradle Pharmaceuticals and appeared in 9999. He developed it by extracting and purifying an alkaloid from a variety of mandrake. High usage can lead to some side effects, including severe memory loss. It can also be aerosolized and used as an anesthetic or knockout gas, and it seems to be Akane's drug of choice. So many games, so little Kumas. Pretty much. Wait, Kuma is mortal and not a god? Not yet, but I'm working on it. Working on it. It's a work in progress. Still trying to collect those 7 balls. You know, once you get the dragon by the balls, he'll grant you anything. Resident Evil 2, Bioshock, Nier Automata, Devil May Cry. What else? Are you forgetting about The Walking Dead? Are you forgetting about Mass Effect? Are you forgetting about Zero Time Dilemma? Are you forgetting about Metal Gear Solid? Are you forgetting about the entire Devil May Cry series? Are you forgetting about the entire Resident Evil series? There are so many games, and our list just keeps getting longer. We've only done 1 run of Detroit Become Human. People want a red run. Like, there's so many games to play. I kid you not. We could, like, stream twice a day, every day, and still fall behind. So many good games. Wow, shit. So many good games. That's why I want to do this full time, because there's so many games and it's amazing to play them. It's amazing. Tubocurine. One of the drugs used by the Nonary bracelets as an extremely powerful muscle relaxant. This is the second drug injected by the bracelets if a rule is broken. The tubocurine is injected 9 minutes after the Soparil. It causes the respiratory muscles to cease functioning, and the body perishes from lack of oxygen. Tubocurine is a component in some of the poisons used by indigenous populations in South America, who tip their arrows with poison when hunting. It can be counteracted with a cholinesterol inhibitor, but it's not clear if the Nonary game facility has any antidotes available. So, I gotta put... No one put it in, I'll do it, no problem. 7 minutes was a quantum computer, and I am guessing at 14 minutes. We did Soparil and Tubocurine. There we go. Hopefully Zero Time Dilemma is at least twice a week instead of weekly. The issue with that would be that I am in Japan within a month, and after I come back from Japan, I start working full time, meaning that the only time I can stream is Saturday and Sunday, which means doing 2 live streams a week of one game means another game gets kicked out of a stream time slot. And at the moment, we're playing Zero Escape, we're playing Uncharted 2 on Saturday, so we're playing, we're a little strapped for time. What just happened to my data? What just happened? The internet just died for a second. What? What just happened? Did the internet just die for a second? Are we live? What just happened? What just happened? Is everything okay? What just happened? Are we live? Can someone like tell me that we're live? Someone please tell me that we're live. I hope we're not. I'll just read the messages while I'm waiting, but if someone can tell me that we're live, what's going on? The internet should be fine. The internet should be fine. What's going on? I'm getting a smooth signal on my end. A lot of people saying they're live. For some reason, YouTube is getting a few issues. Twitch seems to be 100% fine. It seems to be a YouTube issue. All right, we'll continue. Screen froze for a moment. Hopefully it's not more than a moment. Kuma, if you do play Persona 5 later, are you going to play it by yourself as usual, or are you going to play it with Hachan too to add a Japanese perspective? I would like to play it with Hachan, and I'm also trying to get Hachan to join me for Kingdom Hearts. It's tricky because she also works on the weekends, but I would very much like her to play it with me, if possible. But the issue is more getting a live stream slot for it, rather than getting Hachan to play it, because, you know, if I'm working Monday to Friday full time, doing it Monday to Friday is impossible. I'll come back at like 7, 8 o'clock p.m. and be dead tired, and I gotta wake up the next day at like 6, 7 a.m. Work is rough. Work is rough. So support your local content creator that you want to see make this career, and share the videos with your friends, because it really does help. Yeah, Twitch is sometimes more reliable, not always. Not always. Not always. Always. Okay, ADAM. Acronym for Automatic Diagnosis and Analysis Machine. This device uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose anyone put into it. It's similar to the MRI machine you might find in modern day hospitals, only much smaller and more efficient. An advanced computer built into the device can automatically diagnose most issues and ailments. If the subject of a diagnosis is already deceased, the ADAM can perform a virtual autopsy to determine the cause of death. Internet name Chiki's Palace. Very good name. This entire place is Chiki's Palace. We are nothing but her servants. We feed her, we pat her, we bathe her, we clean her shit. We are her servants. Newspaper Ezra. Radical 6 infection spreads. Cure continues to elude authorities. The Radical 6 virus continues to spread across the globe like wildfire. The WHO has confirmed that death toll is estimated to have passed 100,000 victims. Immediate quarantine of any infected patients is strongly advised. Pandemic. When an epidemic spreads beyond a certain area, it becomes a pandemic. Thank you very much. Some historical pandemics include Gloria, typhoid fever, tuberculosis, the Black Plague, that is racist, and smallpox. Certain influenza outbreaks have also reached pandemic or near-pandemic levels of infection. In Spain in 1918, an influenza outbreak was said to have caused 40 to 50 million deaths. Sigma, is the 18th letter of the Greek alphabet. Sigma notation provides a way to compactly and precisely express any sum that is a sequence of things that are all to be added together. 18th letter, 1 plus 18 equals 9. What the fuck? Boom. You guys. What do you think you'll do? Zero Time Dilemma. We're slotting in one game before we do it. So we want to let everyone that's watching 999 Doors catch up. I'm seeing a lot of comments in the 999 Door playthrough. I want to give people a chance to catch up. There's a lot of people that still haven't finished watching Virtue's Last Reward. I would very much like to, at the very least, have most people up to date before we start the new title. We've played 999 and VLR one after another, so let's give people a chance to catch up. Are we going to see the Zero Time Dilemma trailer after this? Why not? I'll try it. Why not? If we get a copyright strike, I'll fight it. I'll fight it. And I'll probably get punished for it, but I'll fight it anyway. That's what I do. Radical 6, a powerful virus whose widespread is an integral part of this story. If you want to know what Radical and 6 mean, you'll have to play the game and find out. Really? I'm reading this at the end of the game. Injection gun. A powerful syringe that uses easily swappable vials. Thank you. Primary Chromatic Door. There are a total of 7 varieties of chromatic doors in the Nonary game facility, one for each of the following colors. Cyan, magenta. I never even effing knew what those colors were, but I know my printer has them. Yellow, red, green, blue, and white. The primary chromatic doors will open at a specific time. Participants can see how much time is left until the primary doors open by pressing the buttons on both sides of their bracelets. Persona 5 next. It's not. Who is your favorite character in 999 VLR? First you're asking me which cast I prefer, now you're asking me who's my favorite character. Well, it's obviously not Junpei, I'm sick of his shit. It's obviously not Akane, she's crazy. I'm trying to dig myself out of this one, but I'm edging toward Phi. But the reason why is like post-actual rationalization where I'm like, Phi's my favorite. Okay, why? Think of something good. Think of something good. She knows Latin. It's like, no, you dumbass. You just like her personality. But, yeah. Pretty much Phi so far. I like her personality. She jokes around and she kicks people's butts. So, yeah. 999 maths, VLR colors. What's next? What's next, right? Getting educated. You could still play some games before then. Should just leave it to next month. Well, in a month, literally in a month, I will be on an airplane to Japan. So I have a month to wrap up the games that are on the days that are not Saturday and Sunday. Because when I come back from Japan, I start working full time. Which means I can only stream on the weekend. So at the moment, I've got Zero Escape, Uncharted, Kingdom Hearts, Undertale on the weekend, and then I've got Nier Automata on the other day. I've got too many streams happening simultaneously. I'm going to have to cut it by one game before I start working full time. So, I need to wrap shit up. I need to wrap it up, as Dave Chappelle says. Akane is one of my favorite antagonists in gaming, but okay. I mean, fair enough. It's just that in the first game, it blew my mind, and in the second game, I didn't see her the entire time. Like, I could get her being... I want to say she's an antagonist, but, like, I could get why you like her so much, but I sort of... I don't want to say clinged onto Phi, but I want to say, like, warmed up to Phi more than Akane, because I haven't really warmed up to Akane. Kuma, I think we all know Phi was going to be your favorite before you started playing the game. Well, like, after a certain number of playthroughs, you guys know me well enough to, you know, like, you guys know me well enough. Like, you know what I mean. And Phi is pretty good, but we don't know much about her for now. We don't, but, like, so far I like what I see. Favorite characters in 99. Nico's 7, VLR, Dio for speech in his ending. I can sort of tell that he likes 7 because he put him in the Council of Voices, but he also put Ace in there. And I like now that when I watch the Council of Voices, I get all the Zero Escape references. Winning. I'm such a kid sometimes. VLR, Dio for his speech. I could see the Dio part, but on a personal level, I don't like Dio as a person, which sort of makes me hate him as a character. The same way I don't like Joffrey in Game of Thrones as a character, but I really admire the actor for the way he portrayed him. By Lunar Snake. Phi's smart and has sarcasm. She also level-headed in a killing game. She's fun to be around. Good choice. Exactly. You're fucked, Kuma. We know. Oh, Kuma, did you know that Neo Ame is Kotoko's VA? Who's Nano Ame? Is that Phi? Is Phi Kotoko or... Akane? I don't really like her. I don't think she's a good character. Like, what happened? She did a 360 on her personality. I don't know! She keeps time hopping through time and humping the space-time continuum. I have no idea. Hey, Mukuro. A little problem I have with Phi is that she could be a little hypocritical. Yes! Yes, she can! To be honest, Phi has big Mukuro energy, and a wild Mukuro appears. Yes! Yes, she does! Short hair, black hair, white hair, jumps really high, does amazing kicks, wears a skirt. Which is basically the Mukuro of Zero Escape. Basically. The letter phi is commonly used in physics to represent wave functions in quantum mechanics, such as in Schrodinger's equation and bracket notation. I grew up to have a love-hate relationship with Akane as the series went on. She almost became the bane of my existence. I know that feeling. We've got a character in, and I'm not going to spoil. No Danganronpa spoilers in Zero Escape, please. We've got a character just like that in Danganronpa. We love her. We hate her. She's a bitch. We love her. She plays jump rope with the hot crazy scale. We, for some reason, keep coming back, and every single time we get hurt. I totally get it. We've got the same thing in Warcraft with Sylvanas. She's an awesome character. She sacrifices herself and dies for her people. She gets resurrected as the undead. She slaughters her own people. She breaks free. She becomes a legitimate character. She becomes a leader. She becomes Hitler. It's a love-hate relationship. Being stuck in a loop of life and death is going to make anyone go insane. That's what happened to Akane. We all go insane at some point. Fai Makia Mukuro. Kuma has a type, but Kuma is dating a facsimile Aoi. That is true. Hachan is actually Aoi. I shit you not. After playing Danganronpa, I am questioning my life choices. I am literally dating Aoi. Hachan plays tennis. She's highly athletic. She goes nuts for dessert. We're filling her up in all the right places. She's got a wonderful personality. I'm basically dating Aoi. Yeah. I somehow like strong female characters. Somehow dating a very passive person. Didn't go insane, she went cold. Well, being hurt does that to you. Being hurt does that to you. I need to put a timestamp on 30 minutes. Kuma's dating Aoi. Alright, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. I'm going to keep going back and forth. Do a few of these. Chit-chat. Do a page. Chit-chat. Do a page. Chit-chat. Secondary Chromatic Door. There are a total of 7 varieties of chromatic doors in the Nonary game facility. One for each of the following colors. Cyan, magenta. I somehow think I have read this. Secondary. Several conditions must be met by a group that enters primary doors in order for the secondary door to open. There must be 2 pair bracelets and 1 solo bracelet. The colors of all 3 bracelets must together form either the color of the door they are trying to enter or its complementary color. That's kind of hard to remember though, so let's look at this one instead. Red plus blue equals opens the magenta secondary door. Green plus green opens the magenta secondary door. Green plus red opens the yellow. Oh my fucking god. Blue and blue opens... I'm not reading that. No. EU stands for erotic... Wait, what? Erotic... I got that right? Erotic. Erotic units. EU is a system developed in measure of combination of physical, emotional, and situational attractiveness. Sounds like erotica. It ranges from 0 to 20, where 20 might be Marilyn Monroe. She wasn't that hot. It's just that they didn't have anything better. And 0 might be Gilbert Gottfried. Oh, do you hear who that is? From the curious Danny Trejo rate 16 EU. Just being sexy does not guarantee a high EU. What does this have to do with anything? Not to be confused with competing systems of hotness or sexuality, the EU system weighs a number of factors such as practicality, sustainability, emotional investment, and the bias of the observer. Women with a high EU rating have usually mastered the art of the tease. I'm just gonna screenshot this real quick. That might come in handy one day. I doubt my favorite types of characters would be the sort of people I would hang out with in real life. Always a wonderful person. Okay, sure. Pretty sure Snake died between 999 and VLR. Apparently he was old. I don't think he did. Clover still had her brother when he got kidnapped. It's never confirmed, but who would help him when the apocalypse was happening? Didn't that mean he spent the rest of his life looking for Clover? Hello. Hello. Looking for. Plus, Clover can't contact him using morphogenic field. because, you know, she didn't really do anything useful. She assumes that her power was absorbed by someone else, Phi and Sigma, of course, but there's nothing that denies the possibility of Snake dying, unfortunately. I can't believe Britain is leaving the erotic units. Nice. Gilbert Godfrey, the guy who voiced the parrot in Aladdin. Ah, Iago. See now that I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, I'm actually getting... Fuck! Archer, what have you done to me, woman? Erotic units. Wow, I wonder what their purpose was. How many erotic units does Phi have? I'm not answering that question. Leave us out of this. I kind of pretty much became a cold woman that does whatever it takes to accomplish her goals. Like here, she was even willing to risk her life amongst others to make a good future for the world. Well, at a certain point, when you realize you keep getting killed, you kind of stop caring about dying. So Sigma clearly wrote some of the files. Clearly. He had to quantify human attraction. And apparently he had a thing for Marilyn Monroe, who I consider the original thought. So clearly Sigma, damn, I feel really bad for him. EU was mentioned at some point in the game by Tenmyuji and Quark. I have to go back to that. I'm going to subliminally call the European Union the VLR version of EU. You leave whatever country's not hot enough for you, I see. Kuma, going through a primary door when going through its complementary second door means you go through a white door. Right. Damn it, can I just keep it simple with the bloody colors? Fuck! Grandpa oh, of course. Of course. EU. Of course. Grandpa videos. Of course. 0.37. Of course. Grandpa videos. Of course. A collection of films that Tenmyuji has gathered. Their content isn't really explicit per se, but they still aren't really appropriate for someone Quark's age. It should be noted that the term does not imply the videos contain grandpas or grandpa-like actors. Clearly, Junpei never got over fucking Akane. Clearly. Kuma, there is a bunch of Easter eggs, but the files we want you to read are the gold files that hold important stuff, and honestly, they cover plot holes in the game we saw. Sigma had to make erotic units for Lunar, his robo-girlfriend. I think these files are very important, Destiny. These files are... How do I say this? Essential to the plot, like Sigma's cat problem. Could Marilyn Monroe turn on and off to her EU? I read a thing once where she was out in public with a bodyguard and she turned to him and said, "Should I turn her on?" And she was like, "What?" I think Marilyn Monroe was just on so much drugs all the time that she couldn't tell whether she was whatever. She died of a drug overdose in the end, so like, you know, whatever. Sigma's cat problem. Sigma has a strange verbal and possibly psychological tic which causes him to make cat puns whenever he talks about cats. The cause of this behavior seems to be an experience he had a child. What? Seems to be an experience he had a child. Spike Chunsoft, the fuck? I'm gonna tweet them that. Spike cat spelling. Clearly, whoever did this was sleepy. The cause of this behavior seems to be an experience he had a child. When Sigma was in preschool, there was a deserted house near his school that everyone called the Cat Mansion. He'd always loved cats, so every day he would visit the Cat Mansion and give the cats that lived there some of his lunch. One day he realized that he could understand what the cats were saying to one another. A magical black cat appeared and told him that it had given him this gift in exchange for giving food to its fellows, but the magical cat said, to be continued, "You can never tell anyone about your gift." The magical black cat warned, "If you do, you'll be cursed." But young Sigma was so happy about his newfound ability that he slipped and told the girl about it. So the black cat cursed him. His curse was to speak only in cat puns for the rest of his life. Fortunately for him, a magical white cat came along soon afterward, felt the curse was a little too harsh and lessened it, so that he would only talk in cat buns when he talked about cats. And he lived happily ever after. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Phone. A device that converts sound into electronic signals and transmit them over a wire so they can be decoded and played back on the other end. It's useful for speaking to people who are far away. The invention of the telephone is generally credited to Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, but there is a dispute in some circles as to whether or not this is the truth. In the game, there is a phone in one of the cabins. It can't call outside the facility, of course, but what if you try something like 5309 or 6969? Other numbers might do other things, so give it a try. I retract my previous remarks. Sigma wrote everything. Clearly. The fuck? Plot. What kind of plot are you talking about here? 18 plus ones? Or the king mind-fucked you? Hard. Going by this, we've been mind-fucked quite a bit. But we gotta wrap this up by an hour. So we're a little bit behind. Wait, we've only been doing this for 40 minutes. We're fine. We're just gonna go a little bit quicker. Gollum. The Gollum is an anthropomorphic creature from Jewish folklore. Golems are made from clay and will obey orders given to them by their creators without question. Although they tend to take instructions very literally, a golem is created by performing a holy ritual. Then kneeling the clay into the shape of a person, chanting a spell, and writing the Hebrew word emet, truth, on the golem's forehead. Erasing the E changes the word to met, which is Hebrew for death. Doing this deactivates the golem. Okay. Gollum. One of the golems found in the Nonary game facility, he is discovered lying on the maintenance table in the Golem Bay. His product ID is GTM-CM-GOLM. He asked to be referred to as by the last bit, which is of course Gollum. Much to his surprise, this ends up being pronounced like Gollum anyway. On a side note, GTM-CM-GOLM stands for Golem Type Male Cockney Model Number Golem. Sure. Chinese Room. The Chinese Room is a thought experiment developed by American philosopher John Searle to contest some of the ideas about artificial intelligence. The experiment itself is explained in more depth in the game, but the general idea behind it is to pose the question, do intelligent responses indicate actual understanding? Searle contests that a computer could be programmed to respond intelligently in conversation with humans, so much so that it would appear to be human itself, but that it would not necessarily, or perhaps could not actually understand what it was saying. Of course, this raises the question, how can we know that human minds are not, in essence, Chinese rooms? Can we really say that we understand the things we say, or are we just simulating understanding? Holy fuck! This game. Chinese room. Hey. Also, Laurie Bailey, Lunar's VA voiced certain characters in the original Nier. Try phone calls. Do it. Oh yeah, we did try phone calls. I remember that. Here we go. Turing test. The Turing test is designed to gauge a computer's ability to exhibit intellectual behavior, first developed by British mathematician Alan Turing. The test has 3 participants, a human judge, a human subject, and a machine. The judge engages in conversation with the human and the machine, and if the judge cannot determine who is the machine and who is the human, the machine is considered to have passed the Turing test. When Fire mentions that perhaps she and her companions have been captured to perform a test, she is referring to the Turing test. And that's Lunar. I'm reading them in order. Reading them in order. There's a fair few to read, so let's get to it. Supplementary AB rules. Here's some rules for you. Not voting is not an option. We already know this one. In other words, one person out of every color has to vote. Golem again. An acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labor Electronic Machine. Golems are robots developed and sold by an American corporation called whatever systems. Some of the units in the facility, however, have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them have also been given ABT, created by Zero Senior. Incidentally, ABT is short for Artificial Biological Tissue, so basically like the thing in Terminator. Yeah, these things are basically... Holy shit, Skynet! Gollum story. The point. The gist of Gollum's somewhat rambling explanation is that the center of the thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. In the case of the Golem, the self clearly resided in the mainframe and operates the body remotely. Since a self-aware robot could exist this way, he theorized what would prevent humans from doing the same. If humans are actually being controlled by an outside force, is there actually anything such as free will? We'd had that discussion all the way in the Golem episode. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged any good? Yes! Very good. The first 20-30 episodes, after that, boom. Really good. Highly recommended. Wound 1. 4th. Interscrotal left between 4th and 5th ribs caused by knife or a sharp object. Clean continuous. We know. We know. We know. Coroner, to be confused with a coroner or coroner, as a government official who assists law enforcement by investigating the causes of the death and dealing with paperwork and logistics surrounding corpses. It is also used colloquially to refer to someone who performs these duties, whether or not they are actually employed by the government. Autopsy. An autopsy is a post-mortem surgery that examines the body in detail to determine the cause of death and evaluate any disease or injuries that might be present. It is also super gross. Luminol mixture. Luminol is an organic compound with the chemical formula C8H7N302. When mixed with hydroxide salt and hydrogen peroxide, which is a poison, it will glow blue when it comes into contact with blood and certain other substances. This property has made it a useful tool in criminal investigations where it can reveal blood stains and have been cleaned up. This is in mind the next time you're contemplating how to deal with the neighbors listening to death metal at 3 in the morning. Dark! Bracelet 2. At first glance, Kay's bracelet seems different from the others. Specifically, it appears to be attached to his suit. Although the design is slightly different, it is not part of his suit. The bracelet is attached directly to his wrist, with the face looking out through a hole in his armor. It's like the other bracelets, it will only come off when he escapes, or when his heart stops. I'm not skipping your comments. I answered your comment. For God's sake, can you read the one with anemone, please, so I don't say it over and over? And I said I'm reading them in sequential order. I read all these ones. Which one are you talking about? It's not here. Not here. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. I'm going sequentially. I didn't skip anything. I'm not skipping your comments. I answered your previous comment. I'm saying I'm going in sequential order. Generalized amnesia. A memory condition where the sufferer retains knowledge such as language, social common sense, and so on, but memories of their own past and personality disappear. It is caused by usually psychological, but in rare cases it be caused by serious head trauma. Hay suggested that an extremely painful breakup might have been cause of his condition, but generalized amnesia usually requires a much more powerful trigger than breaking up with someone. In fact, a painful breakup often has the opposite effect. You want to desperately to forget, but find that to be impossible, which leads to all sorts of other mental disorders. Or so the person sitting behind me says. Oh yeah, K killed Dio to force Sigma to choose between Phi, a random stranger in his eyes, or K, his frickin' child, to save. Huh. Comment I made up about Anemone from Nier. I read that comment. Oh. So Anemone from Nier is the same voice actress as what was the name? Kodako. I answered that comment. I was asking who the Anemone girl was. I didn't skip comments. I'm reading comments. Just like it's the YouTube system is not as friendly as you would think. It's like this little tiny window like this that keeps moving. Not easy. Have to yell at me, dude. I'm reading all the comments. Not nice. I'm human too, you know. Cooked food. Spice cooked pork. A Szechuan dish is made by pan-frying pork, cabbage, bell peppers, and green onions with douban, giant, or titan margarine for flavor. Paella, Spanish dish where one cooks rice, meat, seafood, and vegetables in shallow pot seasoned with saffron. Nasi goreng, an Indonesian dish. Wow, she really cooks. Borscht, a Russian dish. Preparation is very simple. You just stew meat and vegetables together for a long time. The finished meal is garnished with beets and sour cream. I'm pretty chill. I don't know if you're chill, but I'm reading all the comments, dude. First, the Chinese room problem is stupid. It can be disproved immediately. How can a person prove that they are not some kind of biological robot that does not understand what they are saying and just spews words that they can find? Because we people can create. We are able to create the words, languages, and manipulate them and bring in new things. You are not a machine that does the same thing over and over again. You innovate and change constantly, removing from inhibitions of robots. That's true. But that's why they're trying to test it for artificial intelligence. That's the thing. Because, you know, as the name implies, artificial intelligence would be artificially created intelligence that humans instinctively have. Yeah, man, I want to try some borscht. Borscht is nice. Have a nice... 3 words Zero says before he leaves. Have a nice trauma. Have a nice trace. Have a nice triumph. Free the Soul. An emerging religious organization with a rapidly growing membership. Some figures claim their congregation numbers over 1 million in countries across the world. Originally, the organization called itself Free the Soul of Y, but later dropped the Y because to become simply Free the Soul. The founder of the religion is known as Brother, and his true identity is a mystery. Only a small number of the highest-ranking members have ever seen him. The doctrine of Free the Soul demands that its adherents separate themselves from the world, free themselves of lust, and release their souls from their physical bodies so they may be purified. Its followers believe that they will be born again as a new race and that the world will be transformed into a place of equality with no conflict or poverty. Considering how a peaceful world of equality with no conflict or poverty usually plays out in movies, they seem like a pretty scary group of people. Wow. All good, Bal. All good. Schnitzel. Guys, you're making me hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. But AI can learn from our mistakes and improve upon them. That's the scary part. That's why they do these tests, to see whether or not we can tell the difference between a human and artificial intelligence. Because if we can't, it's working very well, right? Myrmidons. Free the Soul is a powerful new religious order dedicated to establishing a new world order, and the Myrmidons are their elite frontline soldiers in the Secret War. And they were also the one with Achilles in Troy. The general public knows nothing about the Myrmidons, but their actions have put them on the watch list of intelligent communities across the globe. Rumors say that all Myrmidons have the exact same face, suggesting they may all be clones of a single person. No one knows where this rumor comes from exactly, but I can tell you that it's a very credible source. Yeah, clearly Sigma. Brother. The founder of Free the Soul, although he prefers not to be referred to as such, as a child, he had been a younger brother whom he was very fond of. Unfortunately, the worst happened and the younger brother was murdered. Rage of the despair-filled brother, and for 9 days and 9 nights he was consumed by his own misery. The morning of the 10th day, however, he had a revelation. Mankind was rife with base desires and needed to be purified so that a new world could come into being. God had spoken to Brother and given him a mission. Brother dedicated his life to realizing that mission, and at the age of 26, he established Free the Soul of Y. He claims that Y is a symbol for miracles. My God. Okay, we're going to put that in. Free the Soul, Myrmidons, and Brother at 50 minutes. Myrmidons and Brother. Good brother. Very nice. Race 3. There is some information that isn't revealed in the game. The bracelet put on the left wrist of the 9 participants in the Ambidex game has an important feature that's never mentioned. As soon as it's put on, the needle on the underside activates and inserts itself into the wearer. That doesn't necessarily mean that it injects a drug, only that it activates and pierces the skin. Maybe there's something on the needle, or maybe there isn't. All that's certain is that when someone puts on the bracelet, they get poked. Oh, wow! So you can't just remove it. Holy fuck. There goes my plan. AB game 1, this refers to the Ambidex game. A is ally, da da da. AB game 2, da da da. Penalty. If you break the rules or if your BP falls below 0, you will be penalized. More specifically, a set of needles in your bracelet will be activated, injecting you with 2 different drugs. So it doesn't have to... Yeah, the first is an anesthetic called Serpal B. 9 minutes later, this will be followed by a muscle relaxant called Turbo Curing. Muscle relaxant will cause your lungs to cease functioning, killing you. In other words, the penalty for failure is death. So basically, we're dealing with Darth Vader. You want to try some borscht? The AI can learn from mistakes. I actually wonder if we can get such a complex AI we start making dumb human mistakes. All I gotta say is, think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize that half the human population is dumber than that. I don't think it would be difficult to program a computer that's more intelligent than some people in this planet. On this planet. New World Order plays in the background. Brother is a pretty complex person. His motives are complex. His reasons are complex. Quite complex indeed. You guys must be referring to the next game. Oh god. Life is unfair. What was that about bracelet can't be removed? I missed it. It injects you with 2 needles as soon as you put it on. So if you were to remove it, you'd literally like pretty much fucking cut an artery and bleed out to death. So forcibly removing it won't work. If the 2 needles are here, there's basically an artery here. You fucking nick that, you're fucked. You basically bleed out. And they're not... Voting machine, hazmat suit. Scotch. Type of whiskey made in Scotland is a unique aroma, comes from the peat that's used in manufacture. Scotch is Tamioji's favorite drink. Often claims a little scotch should scratch this itch after returning from work, which annoys Scott. Root beer float, well-known drink by putting a scoop of vanilla ice cream in some root beer. It is known as a black cow. Quark has taken to saying root beer floats my boat, which warms Tenmuji's heart. It would never have the same capacity, power, and ability to match human intelligence, and this is an actual fact. The practical use of AI is inside supercomputers to perform faster calculations than we're able to. There are only advantages in speed. All they're saying the AI apocalypse is coming, no different from alien people. Hey, all I'm saying is if there are aliens, there's no reason for them to come here. We've got a bunch of dumbasses ruling the planet. Why would you want to work with people like us? Floor A and Floor B. The facility has 2 stories. The top floor is referred to Floor A and the bottom is referred to as Floor B. The A and B supposedly stands for above and below. There's a rumor from the floors that were actually named after a particular Swedish pop group from the 70s. But everyone involved in this project has insisted that it is a vile and hurtful lie. Wow, Sigma definitely wrote this. Researcher's journal. When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. If we assume the brain currently operates at 1-to-1 basis with regards to time, Radical 6 reduces it to 1 to the power of 1 over 6, approximately 1 to 0.408. This means that for each second that passes outside, the participant only feels 0.48 seconds inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.45 seconds, or to the power of 6 seconds, have passed outside. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6. So at 58 minutes, we start talking about Radical 6. Those infected with Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. Whatever the cause, the infected variably attempt to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of the virus. Research suggests that the targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but thus far we have been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. The bodies of the dead from suicide are piled up along the roads leading in and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay, and the sky is filled with constant buzzing of flies. At times, their swarms are so thick that even when one passes, it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Every day I see more crows and rats and everywhere feeding on the dead. Ironically, the only healthy looking creatures are the stray cats, who have grown fat on plentiful rodent diet. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. Oh Lord, please let their future be a bright one. This is an expert from the Journal of Research, and due to space constraints, some sections have been cut out. Hope is very complex. Oh my god. Do you like boats? Zeroscape. Do you like snails? Oh god. 0.58. X. Alright, we're gonna get moving. We're gonna get moving. Jumpy. Sounds like someone named... Fucking hell. The Secret of Quark's hat. Don't you think his hat looks kind of weird? There's the huge band that just wraps around his head. Is he hiding a pair of Fergie ears, or is he just a young Lobot? Well, this is just between you and me, but he's got missiles in there. The sides of the hat are hiding those pods, like you see on helicopters or SAM sites. Well, surface-to-air missile sites. Except these missiles are tiny, and when he goes in trouble, both sides of the hat open up and they fly out at once like, psh. Just kidding. Actually, just keep snacks in there. What the fuck? Zelovir. An antiviral medication made to counteract Radical 6. More specifically, it's an antibody with a natural resistance to the virus. It can be found and extracted from an individual in 2038 and then replicated using the IG replicator. An Xavier injection is the only way to fight Radical 6! Quark's hat. Okay, one page, I'll read a few comments. Don't talk about 0 times 11 too much, everyone. We don't want spoilers for Kuma. Yeah, fair enough. I guess that sort of started this whole thing. By the way, the healthy human being is actually supremely intelligent. Literally, the difference is one person did not study like someone else, or was not able to. I think there is also innate ability and talent. Some people just pick up things quicker than others. To financial and other numerous reasons, literally the difference between your average McDonald's worker and the university professor giving lectures is life, financial reasons, luck, and hard work. Yes, but there's also some people that have certain talents. Some people are just wired differently. Sigma, stop writing, please. AI is not scary. What's scary is that people do with it. Is the tool what it master does with it is the issue. So basically like a pen, like a knife, or like a gun, really. You can use it for hunting, or you can use it for hunting other people. Trying out Apex, not to make myself look like an idiot later. I've been trying it out for the first time! Don't make me look like an idiot by myself. Come on, guys. Treatment pods, an amazing machine that augments an individual's natural ability to heal, strengthens their immunity system, accelerates their metabolism, and can cure many other incurable diseases. In addition, it can create personalized medications, perform gene therapy, and even repair the effects of radiation damage. What an incredible machine. It's not that incredible if you can't cure Radical 6, you say. Yes, well, I guess you've got a point. But don't worry, it also has a function called cold sleep. Cold sleep uses CAS freezing to freeze the entire body without damaging it. That way, even if the disease you found can't be cured, you can be frozen until a cure is found. Cold sleep. There are generally two types of cold sleep. The first involves lowering your internal body temperature. This reduces your basal metabolic rate and induces a similar state to hibernation. In other words, your body is still actively functioning, but it's very slow. The other sort of sleep is the one in the game. This involves freezing your body, essentially lock it in whatever state it was in. Until recently, this was impossible because the expansion and crystallization that took place during the freezing process irrevocably damaged human tissue. In the world where this game takes place, however, CAS technology has overcome this hurdle and made cryonics a reality. The resuscitation rate is nearly 100%. In fact, you'd be more likely to die in a plane crash, which means that freezing yourself to visit the future is safer than flying from Tokyo to Milan. Holy fuck, I hope I don't die on my way to Japan. Cold sleep. Careful, Kuma, you are sounding like Nagito, who believes some people are born with talent. Holy fuck. CAS. CAS stands for Cells Alive System. It allows organic tissue to be safely and non-destructively frozen. In this game, CAS is used to put people in cold sleep. It supercools the subject with a magnetic field and causes them to freeze almost instantly, preventing crystallization. In real life, the problem comes when you try to thaw something out, which also must be done instantly. In this game, however, the technology magnetic of the treatment pod makes returning from cold sleep possible. Past two Nonary games. November 2018, 16. Holy shit, 2018, that was like 3 months ago. 16 children were reported missing. In actuality, 18 children were taken. but 2 were never reported. The person in charge was someone who were referred to as H. The purpose of the game was to conduct experiments on morphogenic resonance. With the children as test subjects, it won't go into specifics here. The short version is that it was a Nonary game. November 1st, 2027, a total of 9 people participated in this session. They were abducted just as children had been, but this time H was not in charge of the game. Clover was a participant in both games, and now she finds herself playing the Nonary game again. I'm not disputing Tana and their finite people to some types, and how uneducated half the population is, and then consider how uneducated the average person is, then realize half the planet is even more uneducated. Kuma react to Deltarune train. It's hilarious. Not in a Zero Escape stream. Maybe in an Undertale. Do we have voice chat? I still haven't figured out how it works. We can use it as part of Discord. Just everyone needs to push the talk. Esper resonance. In the context of this game, Espers are people with the ability to access the morphogenic field. An Esper can increase the strength of their signal by being in close proximity to another Esper. Assuming they are both the strongest signal will absorb any weak ones nearby and then use it to amplify its own strength, sort of like waves. The biggest wave adds the amplitude of smaller waves to its own and covers them up. Nonary veterans. The following 9 people, participants of the Nonary game, Clover claims to be a part of. Ace, middle-aged man, Snake, Santa, Clover, Junpei, June, 7, domestic detective, Lotus, attractive programmer, has 2 daughters, Kubuta, skittish man, gets blown up, Ace, middle-aged man, Snake, Clover's older brother, real name Light, Santa, arrogant, uncooperative young man, Clover, young man, fuck me. Clover, still Clover, just younger and with a jacket. Holy fuck! Shots fired. Junpei, hero of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. What a cunt. June, Junpei's childhood friend, real name Akane Kuroshiki. Neostigmine. A type of carbamate compound which acts as a irreversible acetylclonet, whatever the fuck, inhibitor. Exciting the parasympathetic nerve. This allows to counteract the effects of the muscle relaxant tuberculin. It will be delivered in an injection gun like the one you see here. By the way, the crystal is not the issue of speed. If you freeze water, it allows form crystals no matter what. So that it's called plot bullshit is wrong. Okay? Ice 9. Ice 9 is a special form of water with a melting point of 36 degrees Celsius. In other words, it freezes at room temperature. The idea of Ice 9 was originally put forth by the American scientist fiction author Kurt Vonnegut. His version of Ice 9 has a melting point of 45.8 degrees Celsius. There's a rumor that says that all the water in Alice's body is actually Ice 9. Who knows whether it's true or not, but if it is, then she has to always keep her body temperature above 36 degrees Celsius. Is that why she's always naked? H, referred to as Guntaro Hongu. He was one of the characters who appeared in 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. He was the person who supervised the kidnapping of the children who participated in the Nonary game. He's the CEO of Creative Pharmaceuticals and devout follower Free the Soul. Morphogenic field. This theory holds that there is a sort of field where that forms, structures, patterns, and everything in reality are stored. This includes abstract things like language, song, thoughts, inspiration, culture, customs, and ideas. Any information contained, transmitted, or created by matter is held in the morphogenic field. In the Zero Escape series, people who can communicate by accessing this field are known as espers. If morphogenic field theory is true, however, then it would mean that in all sense humans are espers of thought. Huh. Alice needs to stay hot or she dies. Huh. What the fuck is an important part of the body's defense system against viruses, bacteria, and invaders. It identifies and neutralizes certain threats. The IG replicator found in the lab gets its name from immunoglobulin. Integra factorization. Oh god. Factorization is the process of reducing a number to a series of numbers that, when multiplied together, will give the original number. Taken to its logical conclusion, this will yield a list of prime numbers. For the purpose of factorization, what is not considered a prime? Examples of prime factorization. 210 equals 2 times 3 times 5 times 0, 7. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 107 can be divided by themselves or 1, which makes them primes. Okay, too few ego eddies. Relatively known as Latin phrase. It might look like it's talking about a pair of sexy toaster waffles. but it actually means something like, what are you? I was. What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Sometimes used as an epitaph, the implication is that the person in question was once alive like the reader, but the reader will someday also be dead. A little ominous, I guess. SOIS. Special Office of Internal Security, or SOIS, is an elite intelligence organization under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. They investigate potentially disruptive or dangerous elements such as domestic or foreign terrorism, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Their stated purpose is to maintain peace, but their character authorizes them to arrest, detain, or even kill. Scary. Charter lets them kill. See. Where are we? Ultimate put zero, escape, arc, smart, but throws the word science and a bunch of debunked theories. An average person will believe it and get immersed, but it is no different from the calm friends power up in the anime plot armor. Fair enough, but let's just enjoy the story. Actually read. Lego my ego eris. I can honestly play as good. Okay. Oh my god, we got 20 minutes. Prisoner's Dilemma. Apple and Banana committed a serious crime and were arrested. Since they were accomplices, the police separated them for questioning and kept them from communicating. A detective visits each criminal and tells them the following. If either of you spills the beans, you both get 2 years. If clams up and confess, you'll get 1 year and he'll do 15. But if you keep quiet and he gives up, you'll do 15 and he does 1. I bet you're thinking, well, what if we both rat on the other guy out? Pretty simple, you both get 10 years. This is the prisoner's dilemma. You betray your partner or stay silent. In the AB game, however, sometimes the most rational choice isn't always the best one. Antimatter bomb. The bomb uses energy generated by the collision of particles and antiparticles. So how does this work? Fa explains. Imagine two types of matter that are exact opposites, like male and female. When they combine, what happens? According to quantum theory, their number adds together to make 0, like 1 and -1. They kind of disappear because they cancel each other out. They call it the annihilation. But when they collide, they create something like a baby, except the baby is sort of pure energy. A make of it. In other words, an antimatter bomb makes an exploding baby. Does that make sense? What the fuck? Even though the phrase ding dong is to represent bell ringing, it is a phrase standing for blowjobs. I mean, you know what dong stands for, right? I do, but please don't write blowjobs in one word because it might demonetize the stream. Naughty words? Put a star in one of the letters, please. Let's be honest, Destiny. This series, as good as it is, probably may be much its own. What? Up its own ass? Probably, but it doesn't mean it's not a good story. Detonator is the device that will detonate an antimatter bomb. Of course. Cybernetic arm. A device originally created to weaponize genetically engineered psychotic bears. What? A device originally created to weaponize genetically engineered psychotic bears. That's a Monokuma reference. Just kidding. It's actually an arm augmented for online sex chat. Not really. In truth, it's the arm of a mysterious libido-powered robot. Sigma. I'm just messing with you. A cybernetic arm is actually a mechanical limb that you can control with your mind. Really, it has the titanium alloy for bones, and those are covered with ABT or artificial biological tissue. The ABT even has artificial nerves, so you can feel pain through it just like a real arm. It has veins that connect to the rest of your body, so if you inject medicine into a cybernetic arm, it'll flow to the rest of your body. What the fuck? Lunar's necklace. The necklace Lunar is never seen without has a cage containing a bluebird hanging from it. If you twist the key on the bottom, it plays music. Someone special gave it to her as a gift, and she says it reminds her of the following lesson. Search for happiness whenever you can, because the search itself is what will make you happy. Laws of robotics. The 3 laws of robotics were created by science fiction author Isaac Asimov and play a large part in the robot series. They are as follows. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders will conflict with the first rule. A robot must protect its own existence as long as the protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Later on, Asimov also developed another preceding rule, known as the Zeroth Law, which has appeared in the story Robots and Empire. The Zeroth Law of Robotics. A robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. Clearly, the Zeroth Law was priority over the first three, so the first law would have been unwritten addendum, except where this would conflict with the Zeroth Law. Whether or not 016 was aware of this law is unclear, but in any event, 016 did act in accordance with it. I need to reload my water. My throat is very dry. Let's have a 2-minute break while I grab water and we'll continue. I is back. Back again. Kuma's back. Ah, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Need water to swim that suit. I'm gonna put that as a timestamp. Swimsuit, baby. For some reason, Sigma, or perhaps the author, seems to be unnaturally obsessed with swimsuits. Why is that? Was he involved in a horrible swimsuit accident? How now repressed? In his youth, did he have a crush in high school on a girl on the swim team who put her Olympic aspirations ahead of any possible romance? Is he just a perv? The world may never know. I like this game because it doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows that this is so pervy, but like it just goes with it. I love that. I love how self-aware these creators are. Password input device, animator reactor. In a general sense, an animator reactor is a system that generates electricity or some form of power from matter-antimatter reactions. This facility uses hydrogen and antihydrogen. The reactions power a turbine which generates energy and powers everything in the facility. It looks like a gigantic octopus, but it's definitely not edible. No matter. My internet's completely fine. I'll have to reset my IP after this live stream. Nothing wrong with it. It should be working. Why is YouTube saying error? Guys, why is YouTube having a problem? Everything's fine on my end. It's just YouTube having a thing. YouTube's having one of those days. Although the creation and storage of antimatter is still a difficult obstacle, their results suggest that antimatter reactors could someday be a possibility. Kuma, do not watch this trailer, no matter what some people say. Huh. Okay. TNT equivalent, well, we know how big it is. It's 30 megajoules. Butter is some dangerous stuff. TNT is often used to a reference point when discussing the power of explosive devices, specifically the explosive power described by tonnage. The amount of energy that 1 ton produces is approximately 4.18 gigajoules. This means an explosive device that was an input of 1 megaton contains 4.184 pentajoules. TNT stands for Trinity Taloy No, Trillion No, Tridadadzit. Ah yes, Trinitroluen, that's it. It's one of the most common explosives, which is how it became a reference point. A kilogram of TNT has 4.184 megajoules of energy, but a kilogram of butter has 30 He's making a calorie joke. Ugh. YouTube is having its time of month. Einstein's famous equation, put simply, it means that energy E is equal to mass times speed of light, c squared. It describes how much energy you'd get by annihilating matter with antimatter, a lot. But also carries the interesting implication with enough energy you could theoretically create matter. Terajoules. The amount of energy you get by combining 35 milligrams of each matter and antimatter. You can get this number by using the equation E equals mc squared. 5. What do you get when you convert 700 milligrams to kilograms? Alice, 7 times 10, the minus to the 4th, 0.0007 kilogram. And what's the speed of light? And what if you square that? And then if you multiply times the original mass, you get 63 times 10 to the 10th. Really? Fine. Floor B, graffiti. We know that. Memento mori, if the 9th line ate the sun, 9th clearly refers to the 9th, which seems to have been spelled wrong. Purpose white, perhaps it's an anagram, like the words on the wall in the warehouse. If it is, what does this one mean? Remember death. Remember morality. Hourglass. The hourglass displayed in the background is actually a 4-second timer. It doesn't have much practical use, except maybe for really important people. If you were at a restaurant waiting for food to come out, for instance, hey, how long are you gonna make me wait? I've already flipped this hourglass 100 times. Technically 100 times would only be 400 seconds, which is 6 minutes and 40 seconds. By saying 100 times, it is much more dramatic and therefore much more likely to get a desirable response from wait stop. Gentle points. These are a measure of how much a gentleman you are. Oh my god. Somewhere deep in the United Kingdom is an organization that tracks all gentlemen, determining their caliber based off an ancient Byzantine collection of rules and guidelines. Every year during the spring, a representation of this organization conducts a cursory investigation of each member's behavior, or at least appears to, and then awards gentlemen points based on what they saw. The following formula is used. Old ladies escorted across the street, time top hats owned, times puzzles solved, times money given to gentlemen tracking organization equals total gentleman points. So this is the most important, money given to gentlemen tracking organization. The more of that you give, the more these gets multiplied. Fucking cult. A knife. Sure. Locks. Several of the hallways on floor B use special locks indicated on the map by arrows. On the far side of each arrow is a lever. Pulling the lever will unlock the locks. Once this has been done, you can explore the entire area for your leisure. Principle of causality. Here we go, the Merovingian. The law of cause and effect. Specifically that a cause must precede every effect. At the quantum level, however, things aren't quite as immutable. The principle of quantum superposition holds that any physical system, such as an electron, exists in at least partially in all of its theoretical states or configurations, but when measured gives a result corresponding only to one of them. A classic example of this is the double slit experiment, where light appears to behave as both a wave and a particle. One of the interesting implications of this is that, in a sense, you are influencing the past. By observing a system, you are defining the cause of an effect you witness, and in a way, altering the past. Normally, I would comment here that the quantum level is where shit gets real, but given the nature of this phenomenon, it seems like it would be more accurate to say that the quantum level is where shit gets unreal. So 125 is causality. Okay, we're a little light on time, so I'm not going to be reading the sci-fi things, but like I can get. Gnosis 10 Commandments. Ronald Knox, a mysterious writer from the UK, published the following rules as for writing a mystery novel. 1. Criminal must be mentioned early on. 2. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out. 3. No more than one secret room or passage. 4. No hither undiscovered poisons may be used or any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation. 5. No one with extrasensory perception or similar powers can appear, so Kirigiri is out. 6. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. 7. The detective must not commit the crime. 8. The detective must declare any clues he may discover. 9. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must conceal nothing from the reader. 10. Twin brothers and double generally must not appear unannounced. Enough. Star Moon Keys, Bling Shot, Test Site Mystery. The site in question was a simulated manned mission to the Mars held in the Nevada desert. On New Year's Eve 2028, the audio logs from the simulation contain a woman's voice assumed to be one of the test subjects saying the following: 6 of us are dead. Counting myself, there was only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just that, not just these 6, all of them, all 6 billion. Most evidence seems to suggest that this was the beginning of the Radical 6 outbreak and the Nevada facility was the epidemic of the pandemic. Plot twist, June is the one with the fucking thingy. Kuma, the entire point of Nox's 10 Commandments entry is to impeccably point out that this game breaks the crap out of all of them. Pretty much. Termite, holy fuck. A general term used to refer to the insects in the Apho family of Terminal whatever. The cockroach order of the fuck me. That's right, even though they're sometimes called white ants, termites aren't even in the same family as ants. They're in the cockroach family instead. Also, king crabs are in the hermit crab order, and guy must be hit at nightclubs. Have a nice day. 3 words Zero says before he leaves. Have a nice trouble, have a nice tragedy, have a nice trust. Junction. Term used in positional astronomy. Put simply, it means that 2 celestial bodies appear nearer one another in the sky. When used in context of our solar system, it often refers to a position where a given celestial body is aligned with the sun. For example, when Mars is on the opposite side of the sun from Earth, it is considered to be in conjunction with Earth, Mercury, and Venus. Mercury and Venus, which orbit closer to the sun than the Earth does, have 2 types of conjunction. When they are hidden on the other side of the sun, this is referred to as a superior conjunction. When they are lined up on the near side of the sun, this is called inferior conjunction. Temioji's picture. This is the photograph that Temioji was holding. The subject is a girl named Akane Kuroshiki. Akane was one of the people who appeared in the game's title 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. As a childhood friend on Junpei, this title's main character. In 999, she was 21 years old. This picture was taken 9 years before then. Well, look at the left side of the picture. If you look closely, it almost looks like there's a man grinning in the background. Do you see him? Don't worry if it seems a little strange. A spirit medium has told us that the person in the picture is a guardian spirit looking after her. He must have shown up here because he'd heard what sort of destiny she had in store and decided to see how she was doing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, last page and then I'll read some comments because we only have a few minutes. When's the next event? I gotta check really quickly. I can't be late for my own events. Come on, YouTube. Minkowski space. A way of describing reality that adds a 4th dimension of time to the 3rd dimension of space. It was described to by German mathematician Hermann Minkowski and therefore bears his name. It is also the name of a ski resort for miniature cows. What the fuck? Oh my god, it's putting everything in the new thing. Create a classic. Classic. I'm trying to see when the next live stream is. Lagomorph. Scientific name for the order to which rabbits belong, and 03's actual name. Ah. Temuyuji and Alice. They were split up at the road, blue and green chromatic doors. Temuyuji told Alice that there was something he had to tell her. That something was, of course, his identity, and that he already knew about Alice and Ice Knight, and not because he'd heard from it from Clover. Temuyuji and Clover. After the second round of the AB game, after going through the purple and green doors, Clover, as a solo, was heard to say the following to Temuyuji, her opponent. What the heck did you mean with all that? It's not fair. If you're telling the truth, then I... But what had Temuyuji said to her? Same thing he'd meant to say to Alice, of course. He told her who he was. That simple factual Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. It probably hadn't been his original intention to betray her, but after thinking about Quark's safety, he'd probably felt he had no choice but to betray. Alright, let's see when the next live stream is. AB Project. A can stand for after and B for before, but they can also stand for anima and body. Everything that happened in the facility was part of the AB Project. Okay, I'm gonna see when the next thingy is. We did this in the last episode. Upcoming, let's see the time. So who was fired? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed in the Nevada test site. Really? That's how you're gonna make me play the game? Oh, we're supposed to start in a minute. Deactivation password. Here's a little something about the bomb deactivation password. Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. I can only give you one hint. +1. Good luck. There's a lot more to the story, but I think we'll stop the secret archives here. Thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed the game. +1? So they probably mean like +1 letter. Do I have the passwords here? Okay, so... Okay, so let's do it really quickly. +1. Do it really quickly. Really quickly. The D is E. E. U is Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Y and Z. A. S. X. E. Is, that does fucking nothing. That does nothing. Does nothing. Can't figure it out. So we've read all these files. We've learnt a little bit, but now we gotta go to Apex thingy, which is the next event. If you guys are part of the Discord, you know exactly where to find me. I'm gonna have to end this live stream, start the next one, and we are going to play one game of Apex Legends, and then tomorrow, well, a little bit later, we're doing Uncharted 2, then Undertale tomorrow, and Kingdom Hearts tomorrow. So I'm going to link you guys the Apex Legends co-op. I'm going to be playing with any of the members and sponsors if they've downloaded it. So I'll see you guys there. I've just sent you guys the link. I'll be there in a minute or two after I end this stream. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks for coming. I hope
Isn't that obvious?
Shut up, girl. I hope you enjoyed, even though we don't have the mystery of the passwords, but it is something we'll figure out. I know my alphabet has Z after Q. Maybe we'll figure it out. We might just chat about it in Discord. But that officially wraps up. Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. It has been a good ride. We gotta go move on for LXA for example equals myrmidons. Oh! Well, I'm clearly stupid. Right. Right, so that's an easy way for him to remember the passwords. That is so clever. That is a clever way to hide a password. I might think of that. Alright, guys, I gotta go to the next stream. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for coming. I'll have to schedule a next game for next week. Okay, come on, my first cop. How do we do this? Pop over to Discord on the live stream chat. I'm gonna put all the sponsors in there and we'll sort it out. So let's get there. Let's go, 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 go.